The second approach to valuation is relative valuation. In relative valuation, you value an asset based on how similar assets are priced. You've given up on intrinsic valuation when you do relative valuation. You say, I don't know what the intrinsic value is. I'm going to let the market tell me. And if you break down relative valuation, here's what you're going to see. You're going to see a scale measure of price. What do I mean by that? You might not be able to compare the values of individual companies because some are smaller, some are larger. But if you divide that value by earnings or book value, in other words, you use a multiple, you are essentially comparing numbers which are comparable. The second ingredient you need for relative valuation is you need to find other investments that look just like yours. That might be easy in some cases. It's difficult when you're talking about companies. Find me a company that's similar to Microsoft or Apple. It's tough to do, right? So what you will often find is analysts defining something as comparable, then waving their hands and saying, you know what, they're probably not that comparable. Which brings me to the third step. You need to control for differences across these investments, growth and risk and cash flows. So find a multiple scaled version of a value, look for comparables, control for differences. What kind of mistakes do you assume markets make when you use relative valuation? You actually assume that markets are right on average, but that they're wrong in individual companies. And that they're wrong in individual companies, that those mistakes will get corrected sooner rather than later.